Jai Gurudev students. Today is the next part of respiration. That is, today I will discuss about the exchange of gases. So with the help of this diagram, I will describe you how to exchange the gases. So pulmonary gas exchange. Okay. So this part is the lungs. So carbon dioxide enter into the lungs, and here oxygen is entered into the lungs and carbon dioxide expel out. Now in case of the external respiration, only lungs or alveolar sac is involved. So in pulmonary gas exchange, it involves the exchange of oxygen of the fresh air and carbon dioxide of blood at the level of pulmonary alveoli through the mucus on the basis of pressure gradient. Now this uptake of oxygen by the pulmonary blood, pulmonary blood, how it takes place? The PO2 means, here it is written PO2 means partial pressure oxygen, and this one is partial pressure carbon dioxide. So partial pressure of oxygen here is 104 mm mercury level, and whereas in the this part, in the arterial part, and that one is about partial pressure is about 40. So difference between the two, that is 40 and 104, difference is 64. So from high pressure it will enter, and this increase the blood pressure or partial pressure as the blood passes through the capillary. So this part is the capillary part, and it's become the, that is partial pressure of oxygen, it become 95 mm mercury. Now uptake of carbon dioxide. How carbon dioxide? So uptake of carbon dioxide. Now this partial pressure of carbon dioxide of the venous blood entering the pulmonary capillaries, that is when it is present in the pulmonary capillaries, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 46 mm, that is mercury, and while that of the alveolar sac, and that one is 40 mm, and that is mercury. Okay, and therefore the initial pressure difference which is responsible for the diffusion is 6 mm mercury, and this decreases the partial pressure of the pulmonary capillaries to about 40. Okay, so after that when it will enter, then it's become 6 minus 6, so it become, that is 640. Okay, and now this gaseous exchange, when it takes place, the factor which is determine the rate of gaseous exchange through the respiratory membranes are the thickness of the respiratory membrane. So this one is respiratory membrane, thickness of the respiratory membrane, the surface area of the membrane, the diffusion capacity of the gas, and the pressure difference across the membrane. Due to this pressure gradient, that oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange takes place. Now here I have drawn the diagram of the heart, because heart is the pumping organ, and due to which the blood is, that is moved to the different parts of our body, and which carry oxygen and carbon dioxide from the tissue. Now the gas exchange in the tissue, that is internal respiration, exchange in the tissue level. In internal respiration, the exchange occur between the oxygen of the blood and the carbon dioxide of the body cell. These are the body cell. Okay, at the tissue level, dissociation of oxyhemoglobin, then oxygen when combined with hemoglobin, it is known as oxyhemoglobin to release oxygen, is favored by the low partial oxygen and high that is partial carbon dioxide. Okay, so here carbon dioxide is, that is one is 46, it 40 means this one is carbon dioxide is 40 and become partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 46, and oxygen is 40. Okay, and here the partial pressure of oxygen is 20. So low oxygen and but high carbon dioxide. This one is low, but the carbon dioxide is high. Okay, now transport of oxygen, respiratory gases in blood, how it is transported. Okay, so that is in as a solution, that is about 1 to 3% of oxygen is transported by blood in dissolved form in the plasma of the blood as a oxyhemoglobin, that is a chemical combination Normally about 97 to 99% of oxygen is transported in chemical combinations with hemoglobin in the red blood cell. Okay. Now the most important one curve is there. I will discuss that curve. So this curve is known as oxygen dissociation curve. In oxygen dissociation curve, you have seen partial pressure oxygen mm means mercury level, and here is volume percentage, then percent saturation, and by the three-way diagram it is illustrated oxygen dissociation curve. In oxygen dissociation curve of hemoglobin is the curve show that the percent saturation of hemoglobin within the that is with the change in partial oxygen at constant pH. The curve shows that there is a progressive increase in the percent saturation of hemoglobin with increase of partial oxygen uptake in a level and when it become constant. So the normal, that is oxygen dissociation curve, is always, it is sigmoid type. Okay. So what are the factors which affect the oxygen dissociation curve? One is partial carbon dioxide. Okay, because partial carbon dioxide is due to which oxygen will pass through. Okay. Then next one is temperature. That is the curve that will turn towards the right side with the increase in temperature. At the same way, that is pH, if the pH is high or the acidic in nature, then the curve turn towards the right side. And another one important criteria, that is 2,3 biphosphoglycerate. The curve moves towards right side with increase in the level of, that is 2,3 BPG, that is biphosphoglycerate. Okay, today is up to this much. Next day I will continue the next part.